Good day, good day, good day. It is obviously coffee time. Busy, busy, busy day already. So I was so busy to get out here that I forgot my backup phone. So I can't tell if things are working. You don't have to tell me. I'm fine either way. I'm just gonna sit here, relax, and enjoy my coffee and tea for a few moments and unwind because I have been going since 7 o'clock this morning. I've been up, and it's been good morning, but stupid stuff. The sky is really cloudy today, so even for me, I see a haze of gray everywhere. So it's gonna look like this. Yeah. See how this screen looks here. That looks beautiful. Wow. But I can't see chat. I think I'll do that one day. I will put this camera on and I'll just have my backup phone to do chat. May as well. I've got both. What I'm going to do while I've got you hidden from me is I'm going to wipe my screen, or wipe my camera on this side. So it gives me a second so you don't have to see me goofing up. Because it's, you know, oh God, no, stop it. Okay. And then we can flip back. We're here. Hello, hello. Tea. Not my favorite mug. I like the one yesterday better. So yeah, I am on my lunch break, so to speak. An extended lunch break. I have a few hours, so, but I do have some stuff to do at home. So I do have a busy afternoon scheduled for myself, personal. So, but see, there's a couple people in chat now. Let me know if things are working. If they're not, just leave me a message that you can hear me. If you can't, if you just see my mouth flap and there's nothing happening, just say there's no sound. But you can't hear me tell you that, so you'll just have to, you know, can you hear? Am I crazy? There we go. That should be sufficient. So yeah, still doing the teaching. I'm still happy. Everything's good. I have a class in the evening between 8:30 and 9:30, but it runs a little bit later sometimes. And that's fun. It's a group of high school students. So we're having a course on conversational English that I'm quite enjoying, engaging young folks. And we seem to always have a conversation about food, which, if you know me, I am a fan of. So I'm more than happy. It seems to be a topic of conversation no matter with who I'm teaching, that they want to talk about food. I think a lot of them are shocked that I eat Khmer food. So yeah, this morning, backtrack. So there is a new video game that I have been waiting for a couple of years called Crimson Desert. All the trailers, everything I saw for it looked absolutely stunning and gorgeous. I was like, oh, and I was worried that my computer wouldn't handle it. They released the specs about a week or so ago, and they were not horrible. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll wait for reviews to come out. And then the reviews kind of hit, and they were quite good. I was impressed. People seemed to be enjoying it. It was hitting ticking the boxes that I was looking for. And then one of the gaming sites that I go to had a sale on it, and I got the pre-order bonuses and all kinds of other stuff. So I picked it up last night, a nice discount, and then proceeded to install it last night overnight, because it didn't get released until the 20th, which is today. So I think it was around 6 o'clock this morning it went live. So I was very happy to wake up and go, oh, I can play my game. And so I did that for a little bit and was very humbled. And I just played and adjusted the settings. So I was goofing off with that for a little bit. I'm like, okay. My first class usually starts around between 10 and 12, depending on the gentleman. He's a older guy, not as old as me, so a young man comparatively, and he's busy. So if he's with clients or something, he will let us know in advance when he can schedule. Hello, you can hear me, I hope, Portia. Yellow, hello, yodel, hee hee. I'm on a black chair, but there is a yellow chair there. So there we go. Yellow, hello. So yeah, anyway, usually the class will start at around 10 o'clock. Yesterday he had to bump it back to noon because he was traveling, which is, again, I don't have an issue with. I'm home, so I do what's necessary. And then this morning, I played the video game for a little bit and was just really in awe and humbled that my computer was just squeaking by. And I'm like, oh no. Because I know what this feeling is, and I'm like, I don't like it. It's the itch of getting an upgrade. So I ordered myself breakfast. I ordered braised beef soup with bread. So you get like a full baguette and this beautiful, unctuous braised beef soup that has like fresh onions, big chunks of beef and collagen, and oh God, it's stewed to perfection. It just melts in your mouth. Big chunks of carrots, and it's just yummy. And the sauce that it's in, just delicious. So you kind of dunk your bread in, and just, I love it. So I was like, I'm going to treat myself to that because it's like an extra 20 cents in the morning. I know. I paid like $1.40 for my soup. It's like I'm such a rebel. But so what I do, like in the mornings, I will order in my breakfast, and I'll order in an additional meal because if I'm getting a delivery service, they're not expensive. I can order in 2 meals. So with a tip, 2 dishes. So usually it's a soup of some kind for breakfast, and then some type of a noodle for later on. I pick and choose. So with delivery and tip, I pay about $2.60 for 2 meals, mind you, delivered to my house. And so I'm eating 2 meals a day. Sometimes I will throw in like an extra little snack for myself. I might make like an egg sandwich at home, or I might just do a fried egg with ramen, just something as a quick bite. And then I'll have this noodle dish for dinner. And they're usually, it's like it comes with a sauce, and I can just pour the cold sauce over top of the noodles, and it's got fresh greens, and it's just an amazingly fresh, light dinner. So that's me with food for the day for like, under $3. Then I come here. This Americano iced with a pot of tea is $1. So in essence, under $5, or just over, under $4, I have my coffee and 2 meals taken care of for the day. And I'm teaching 2 classes right now that are about an hour, hour and a half, depending on, plus my prep time for them. I'll probably be going up to 4 classes soon. Fingers crossed. So if I do the 4 classes, and that's Monday through Friday, let's just say if I'm doing 5 hours a day, 5 by 5 is 25 hours a week. 50, it's 100 hours, and I'll be making not killer money, but really good money for here. Like way more than I'm earning on YouTube. So between that and YouTube, I'll be doing okay. So I'll be able to set aside money for travel and stuff. And since my job is all online, if I want to go down to Kampot for a week, I get my hotel and I'm good. and then just make sure I've got the internet, do my classes, still do my little treks on around, I'm good. So I can still do what I want. Vietnam, same thing. I don't have an issue with it. So this is ticking all my boxes. So anyway, this morning I ordered my soup, had played my game. I'm all set. I'm like, I'm gonna eat my soup. I'll play a game for a little bit more, just get ready for my class to start. And at this point, it was just before 9 o'clock. And I get a message on my phone at 9:02 from him going, "Can we start at 9?" I was like, crap. So I'm like, I'll be a few minutes. I'm just waiting on delivery for my Food Panda. So it was literally minutes away. So I went outside, got my food, came back in, put everything on the kitchen cabinet, and then strapped on my headphones and microphone and started the class. And went taught him until just after 10. Then I played the game a little bit more. Had my breakfast, my beef, braised beef, which was phenomenal. Even cool, it was better than anything I could make. So I was very happy with it. And then I was like, okay, trying to check the times. I'm like, I got a few things I need to do this morning. And the one thing that I've been wanting to do is, I mentioned before, is that my computer case for my desktop. It is the USB. Hello, Kyo. I'm just going to stay there. Kyo Cassell. I after that I'm lost, but I'll tell you, Kyo. So yeah, after I got everything done, and like I said, my desktop computer works, but the computer ports. So there's USB ports all along the top, and they've just started failing. And I like having external USB ports so I can plug in my cameras and stuff. So I'm like, I don't like when things start to falter. Thank you, AU Asia. I appreciate it. I'm very happy with the gig. So yeah, like I said, my computer has been faltering. It works fine, but just the USB ports are a little. And so I saw an ad on Facebook for another one, a new case, new to me. It's a used case for $15. And I messaged him last night saying, hey, I'm interested, but do the USB ports work? Oh God, Dean, just up after another 4-hour camp. I hope you guys are feeling better. Portia, what is the exact type of certificate did you have to get to teach English? In Cambodia? Nothing? No, they don't necessarily need anything. The recommendation is TESOL or TOEFL, TOEFL. But you can do that when you're here. There's online courses for it. If you really want to get into it, if you haven't taught and you want to understand all of the ins and outs of what to do, those classes are great. Tom Trips Out does one that he works with, and they're Cambodian based, and you can go in Phnom Penh and take the course, or you can do it online. And then they have job placement as well. So you can do it that way. Or if you are a native speaker and you have had some form of experience of teaching, usually that's enough to suffice, to be honest. Like for me, I've taken my TESOL and my TOEFL, and so I have them. But I just put on my CV that I have them, work experience, and then I talked to the guy for like 5-10 minutes, and he's like, can you start tonight? I'm like, what? The stuff we have in North America for getting a job doesn't exist here. I've heard from friends that they've walked into a school, all dressed up, ready, and they've, expecting that whole interview process of making you have the 2 or 3 interviews like we have back home, and they have one meeting where they talk to whoever, and then the next thing they know, they're being handed a contract to start work that day or the next day, and you're like, what? So it's pretty quick here, which is fine. I mean, I kind of prefer it. And then it's, you just prove yourself as you're going. And it's all good. So Alan and Dean, I really hope you guys are feeling better. I know you got your message. Oh shit, I forgot to message our other folks, our other gentleman who's going to join us too. I'll message him after I'm done. I'm just going to be a quick one here today anyway, because bloody hot. So anyway, I was looking at this computer case on Facebook. It was all white with glass panels. Comes with some, fans that are colored, and I'm like, ooh. But he wanted $15 for it. So I sent a message saying, hey, does I see that there's scratches and dents and dings, and I don't care. But do the USB ports work? And he's like, let me check. He messaged me back, yep, everything's good. I was like, perfect. I'll be over tomorrow. I don't know who that was, but somebody just drove by waving. So if you guys saw them waving on the side, they're waving at you too. Sorry, distracted. So anyway, it's the same guy that I was talking with before that I bought my monitor from. So I've had workings with him, and when he said that the ports were fine, I trusted him because I bought the monitor, and when I was talking to him about the specs of the monitor, he was solid. He knows his stuff. He's a good guy. Got a cute little computer store. It's in his house, so it's like in Southeast Asia, what you'll have is the store will be the front of the house, and then you have living quarters either in the back or above. So this is one of those living storefronts. And unassuming little place. When you step up, you're looking at it, then you can see the glass and all the computer stuff in there. I'm like, eee! So I walked in, and as soon as I stepped in, he was pulling the case out because he recognized me because I messaged him on Facebook, and it was all perfectly wrapped in saran wrap, and because a used case, but he wanted to make sure everything was good. Gave me a whole bunch of screws. Teaching English as a second language is a good way to help with the rent in Cambodia. Exactly, Kyo. Exactly. And that would be your TESOL. Teaching English as a foreign language is TOEFL. Teaching English, TOEFL, foreign language, and then teaching English as a second language. They're both the same thing to me in my head. So it was a course that I took over a course of a month in Toronto, and I got my certification. So I had this big ass book too that I was using. It was good. Like, I enjoyed the class. It was fun, but that was meant for in-person teaching. Online teaching is a different animal. So I'm digging the online thing. So anyway, to get back to my computer guy story, because I'm going to eventually get there, because I know that he has a nice computer, and we were chatting about stuff, and I mentioned that I got a new video game that was pushing the limits of my hardware, that I was thinking that I might need to get a new video card, because again, this is the part of my brain going, we might need to get an upgrade, because I've been considering this for a while. The graphics card I have is a couple years old. It wasn't a high-end one anyway. It was a mid to low end, so not a mid-range one, but just under. A capable graphics card in its day, but now 4 or 5 years later, it's starting to show its age. And Crimson Desert is one of those games that will push your tech. And Crimson Desert's a game that I want to put like a few hundred hours in. So this is something that I'm investing time and energy into. So I was talking to him about it, and because I knew that he has some new video cards there. And I knew the prices, I just wanted to double check. And he goes, yeah, he goes, oh, I also have this one. It's secondhand, but it's It's like the 5060 Ti, and I was like, wait, what? It has 16 gigs of RAM, and he told me the price with warranty or without, and I'm like, I don't need a warranty. So I gotta kick around that one in my head. It's like, do I jump on something like that now, or do I wait? It's not a huge expense. I can afford it, but do I need it? That's the thing. And the only thing I'm looking at it for, like besides the game, is for the video editing side of things. The NVIDIA cards do a really good job with the video renders, and because I upgraded to a 4K monitor, I've now started recording again in 4K, and that pushes the computer a little bit. So we'll see. Even when I was talking to him, I'm like, oh, I can't decide today. He goes, don't worry, it'll be here. Because he knows that he's not going to be getting, like, a lot of people are looking for it right now. So, but also, by the way, I'm on the motorcycle today. We get the moto out. I use it to go pick up the. I thought I had something on my arm, but it was just Porsche's logo in the chat, because it's right underneath here. Like, the chat starts right below my hand. So, yeah, I had. I went to go pick up the monitor, the case on my motorcycle, and he even said he had it all wrapped in plastic, so he put it on the back. So where the trunk is, he taped it, wrapped it around the trunk and the case a bunch of times with some tape, cellophane tape, and just like go woo woo. And so I was driving around like a local. I got shit strapped to the back of my bike. I'm like, this is great. So I just put my back up against it and sailed down the road. So I dropped that off at the house and then just popped over here. I got to go pick up some stuff in town. Yeah, midlife. Rendering in 4K takes a long time, at least on your Lenovo. It does. Yeah, so the other day I did the video I did with the family outing one, yesterday's video at the temple. That one I did in 4K. 20 minutes long-ish, and the render took just under 18 minutes, so a little bit slower than normal. It's not quite like minute per minute, but before, when I was doing the 2.7K or 1440p, I was rendering that in about 12, between 10 and 12. So it's pushed my time a little bit, but I did a check on my system settings, and it was pushing the graphics card to 100% for the whole time. And the graphics card didn't get hotter than 67 degrees centigrade, so it's okay. But, you know, it is what it is. So the new graphics card would be a nice treat. Porsche, remember the last time you were live I had to go because of tornado? Yes, I remember. 4 huge ass tall pine trees fell right next to your house and over the road and driveway. Everybody is okay. Dear God. And that was like, what, 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I'm trying to remember. It wasn't that long ago. I remember you were here and we talked about that, because I remember we were talking about in Calgary the tornadoes, the aftermath of the tornadoes that I saw. Well, I'm glad everyone's okay. That must have been horrifying. Midlife Escape Adventure. My Lenovo takes much longer. I need to get a MacBook, so much more efficient. Can't part with that money at this time. Yeah. I have the M1 MacBook, and it takes longer. Again, I use that for when I'm traveling and I'm on the road, so I don't really care about the time, because I can just render and go off and do something, come back and it'll be done. I haven't done a 4K one on there yet, but it'll be fine. And I was doing 15 minutes to take about 23 minutes. So I would probably say it'd be like a 2-to-1 ratio. And that's with my color grading and my noise cancellation and all the stuff I do. Hare Krishna. Okay. Krishna Krishna for everybody. No idea. Salt Soda, welcome to the stream. Yeah. I don't know what I'm preferring today, either the tea or the coffee. They're both phenomenal. See if I can, there we go. Wow, that just made me dark. Yeah, so I can point at the sky to get the sky colors, or I point at me, and we should pull myself into shit. Let's try mid-range. Is that, you know what's funny? I'm going to try this for a bit because I've noticed that everything is washed out anyway on YouTube. So maybe if I darken it just a touch, it'll look better in post. I don't know. We'll see. If it's too dark for you guys, just let me know. I mean, there. Take a little bit of the shade off my face. I'll look into the sun. Yeah, it is stupid hot today. Oh, I've been sweating since I woke up. Like I said, like I'm as soon as I'm done, I'm headed down to go get a couple of things. One thing I need to get is my electrolytes. I had 5 or 6 of them, and I was using them in the big bottle, and I realized that I just was done yesterday. I was like, oh no. So I have my last Royal D. Royal D! Wow, I forgot that everything's backwards because it sucks. Oh, crap. I let it do its thing. Did the automatic change. I think that's a nice, the background looks perfect. It works for me. There we go. So yesterday, I don't know what it was, but I think I might have irked a few people. Either some people were not happy with me getting a job, or they did not appreciate my conversation about geopolitics. But I lost like 4 subscribers after the stream yesterday. I was like, whoops. Here's the thing. It's going to happen. I'm not really sweating it or worrying about it at all. Because, to be honest, I don't get into those conversations very often. And I didn't say anything that I thought was like too offensive to anybody. But yeah, I am going to go later on today and take the bike out, and it's telling me I've got a quarter tank of gas, but I know that it's not. Whoops. Midlife escape. No matter what you say, 50% will not like it, so just say what you want and keep going. That's, honestly, I mean, if you think that I, at 57 years old, haven't had a bunch of shit dealt with to me because I have the style I have and long hair, I've dealt with opinions my whole fucking life, and they've always been counter to me. You know, it's like, you're not going to be able to hold a job if you have hair like that, you fucking hippie. It's like, yay, I don't fucking care. You know, don't care. You know, I'm just going to live my life and do what I want. And you know, my whole thing for my existence has been, I want to live a simple life. I don't want to have a complicated life. I want to be happy. I don't want to be a piece of shit. And so that's what I try to do. Find that it's easier to be that here than back home. I found that living in the West, that it was kind of beaten into you to become a piece of shit after a while. So I fought it as much as I could until I couldn't fight it no more, and I came over here. But yeah, the other part is like I just got so sick and tired of being a cog in the corporate wheel. That was my biggest part of ire in my life, was just dealing with the corporate structure. Because I never understood why the idiots kept on getting all of the promotions. Like, you know, you do a good job, and you're smart, you're eloquent, you put forth good things, and you have your interviews, and like, oh, it was a really good interview. But I'm going to go and hire Bob, because Bob has an IQ of a donut, and he's going to listen to what we say, and he's going to just follow, our lead. And it's just like, and that was it. I just got so frustrated dealing with the stupidity, especially my last job. We had a really good team, and we had a corporate takeover from an American company, and then they started to affect some changes. And my boss was really good. He was really smart. He really, his focus was not only on the product, but also on the team. So it was one of the first jobs I'd had where you felt like you mattered. You felt important. And he stuck to his guns for something, and they just let him go. Because the new corporate overlords were it was an American company bought out a Canadian company. And so they were going to implement their things, and he was trying to stop part of it. And so they put in an interim manager who was his second, which made sense, but she didn't want to keep the job. She wanted to move on to another department, because that's where she was going to go before anyway. And so they posted the job, and then I applied for it. And I hadn't been with the company for like a year at that stage. And I was just a tech agent. But nobody knew my background and knew what I've done before. And so I go into these meetings, and I kind of shocked more than one person with, with my discussions and talking about the business and understanding what I did out of it in such a short period of time. And it looked good. Like, the feedback I had was really solid. And they hired somebody from outside, from another company that was a friend of somebody. And I was like, you pieces of shit. And she was awful. Absolutely awful. And so when things really started to turn to shit, and there's the part of me is like really happy that I didn't get that gig, because it wasn't within 6 months that we found out that we were being let go. So our departments were all getting, we're getting let go. There was no saving it. She was fired too. Like there was laid off. But nobody was safe, really. And yeah, that was like one of those times where, I thought I was doing a really good job and I failed. And I've never been happier to fail. Even at the moment when I didn't get a job, I'm like, that's okay. I'm okay with this. To be honest, I was just looking for the extra cash, because I was going to sock in the bank, because I knew something was going to happen. I was going to leave and I was going to come over here anyway. So it would have been an extra couple of grand. So, but hey, whatever. Life escape. I was banned from staff meetings at your last regular job. My God, I would love that. I would love to be banned from meetings. I used to be the guy that would always chime in. They'd ask questions, I'd be the one answering questions. And then I was also the idiot cracking jokes all the time. If somebody said something stupid, I would make sure it sounded stupid, especially if it was management. I used to love when they would say something that was counter Like they would say one thing and then they would like rebut it with something stupid right afterwards, and you're like, so do I listen to the first part or the second part? Which one did you want us to follow more? They're like, what? Well, you said we need to do this, but we're not allowed to do that. But then you said we have to do this, which was what you said we weren't allowed to do up here. What is it? Which one? And they'd be like, and then they'd shit themselves, and then they'd turn off their Zoom call. It was great. I loved the fact when we were doing remote meetings. It was great. Because I'm a gamer, and because I've had a lot of experience with like doing live streams and stuff on gaming channels, I had overlays that I could put on my card on my video stream. So we'd be in one of our corporate meetings, and I'd be like a bunny with sunglasses on, a fully animated character, just talking, and they're like, "What the hell?" It was fun. I loved that shit. I love fucking with people with that. I think I finished my tea in record time today too. Midlife. I told the admin when he wanted to implement a new policy, I'm not doing that stupid shit. It went over, it was well expected. Well, yeah. They never like hearing that their policies are shit. They always think that they're God's next gift. And, heaven forbid somebody steps up and says no. I was always of mindset of like, just kind of like, okay, and just let it fall apart. Trying to stay away from those little trouble points, because it fucking never ends. Yeah, I don't miss corporate life in America at all. Hello, Miriam. Nice seeing you. Sorry I missed your stream last night, but your live streams are on when I'm teaching, so I might catch the odd one. But yeah, I was teaching last night. It's funny because I get your live streams when you schedule them. I get notified of them a half hour in advance. So I'm like, oh, she's going on early today, and I go to check your live stream and it's like waiting. You'll be live streaming in a half hour. I'm like, wait, what? I don't know what YouTube is doing, but they're a lot of day drinking. I'm excused, thank you. Yeah, the other day you had a short one, like the music trivia. I think it was like 39 minutes. So by the time I wrapped up my class and everything, like you were done. I'm like, son of a. Oh. But yeah, I'm digging the teaching thing. I'm like right now I've got morning, big gap, and then evening. So I'm kind of like strapped to figure out what I want to do. But I'll figure it all out. It will all happen. What are we at for time? Oh. I have 2% battery life. Great, thanks. Thank you, Watch. I have to charge you when I go home now. What are we at for time? Let me see if I get 12:54. Okay. I've got a few minutes to save grace. I was going to head down into town to meet up with Alan and Dean and a subscriber today, and I got a message from Dean this morning that he wasn't feeling well, that we needed to cancel. So, which I have no problems with rescheduling. Well, we'll have to wait until you guys get back, because they leave on Sunday, memory serves, which is great. Is that this Sunday or next? I think it's next. I have to be corrected. I have to look. Maven, you started 2 new channels, one for Life in Cambodia, one for the Khmer Cinema. Links are in the About section of this channel. Nice. Cool. I will have to go and follow both. Especially like Life in Cambodia. I mean, that's kind of my bread and butter here. Why There's, what are you? I think a little spider is just playing on my phone. Yeah, so life in Cambodia speaks to me because that's exactly what I do. And then the Khmer cinema, I'm in for that too because I know your fingers on the pulse of that a lot more than I would because you know being in Phnom Penh and doing what you do there. Definitely curious on your insights on all that because I know you've been working with the academy section here in Cambodia. So that movie that we were talking about, with Far Away Close to You, is that one submitted? You're going to go see The Old Man today? Very cool. Yeah, but that other one, the Far Away Close to You, was that submitted for this year or is that going to be for next year? I'm curious because that movie I love. The cinematography on it was so good. Like it did such a great job of capturing the look and feel of Cambodia. But yeah, I want to see Old Man. There's a bunch of movies I want to see. Actually, the Ryan Gosling movie, Hail Mary, I think that one is out this week. I have to double check. I might try to see that tomorrow because I have a day off tomorrow. Yeah, it was kind of funny when I was chatting with my student this morning because again he's elderly compared to the other students I have. He's younger than me, but I asked him what his schedule was with our school, and he said, I think it's Monday to Saturday. And I said, okay. I said, because I just wanted to confirm the schedule. Far Away Close to You for next year. But I think there'll be more films submitted to our committee. Only one will be chosen to submit for the Oscars. That is awesome. I was hoping that it would be for next year, but if that is the bar being set for the level of films that coming from Cambodia, because in my opinion, it's a very high bar that they've set. I'm very excited to see what other films come out of Cambodia because that was a phenomenal film, personally, to watch. Midlife, what's the reason you think some expats are not happy? I have my thoughts on why this happens in Thailand. I would think the reason, like most expats, they wouldn't be happy is just the wrong expectations. September 25 to September 26, the eligibility. Okay, for 27. That is good to know. So I would say the majority of the reasons is twofold. There'd be two reasons I would think why people wouldn't, or expats wouldn't be happy here or in general. First would be their expectations. So they are expecting a Western lifestyle in Southeast Asia where you can mimic it to a certain degree. It's not going to be exact or really that close. You can, like I said, you can mimic it, but you can never replicate it. So the expectations of the life are different here. Like access to a whole bunch of stuff, like, the malls, like in Siem Reap, they don't exist. Like, there's just a whole bunch of cultural things here that are different. So if you are coming over here in the expectation that you're just going to be moving to another country, it's going to behave the exact same way as the country you came from, but just be cheaper, you'll fail. That'll never work. And if you think that your ideals, like your Western way of life and how you perceive things to happen has to be the way that it's going to happen, that'll also fail because you'll never be able to change how things work here. Like just the way that things work on the roads, the driving, it's just, there is a system here, it works, just deal with it. So those people that come with those wrong expectations and think that they can just live a Western life here and that it's going to be all happy, I think they would be unhappy with it and move on. The other ones are the ones that are running away from something. And there's a difference between running away and running to. It's where, no matter where you are, your problems are going to go with you, so you can't run away from it. So if you have any issues, mental health or drugs and alcohol, all those things, you can't just run away from it and just think you're going to come to Asia and it's all going to be, I'm going to get a new life. I'm just going to start fresh, clean slate. That doesn't happen. It's not. You always have to work at it. I deal with it myself. I have my own mental health problems. I deal with on a daily basis, and I work through it. I find it a lot easier here to work through it, but that's just because I made the conscious decision to work through my problems, and that's me. But if you're running away from something, thinking that the new venue is going to change everything for you, you'll fail, and that will make you unhappy. And I think the other part is kind of goes hand in hand with the last point, is the people that are running away from things. But sometimes people have issues, and sometimes drinking, like 50-cent beers, 75-cent draft, $1 cans of beer, 75 cans of beer. They're readily available here. So if you have like any bit of an issue potentially, that can exacerbate here, because it's like, oh, it's just 50 cents. You go out and have a couple of drinks, 5 or 6, 7 or 8, and you're, it happens. What did I miss? The bully. Damn, what are the odds? I just lost my dog and I'm dealing with some serious mental issues I never knew I had until now. I'm so sorry. But that's the thing, is like, you never know what will happen that can trigger that for you. But yeah, my condolences on your loss. I've never had a pet to lose, so I can't sympathize to a degree, but I can understand. Yeah, it's never good. It's family, right? So any family that you lose, never easy. Midlife, good insight. I tell people I didn't come to Thailand to be happy. I brought my happiness with me. Yeah, I didn't come to Cambodia to be happy, but I let Cambodia unlock the happiness that I already had in me, that had been kind of trapped behind the facade of the Western ideal. So, my ex-wife used to say that I smiled too much, that I was always too happy when I was younger. And then I lost that for many years. And then I came out here, and even she emailed me once, she goes, oh, I see you got your happiness back. I'm like, just to drive you crazy. Yeah, because she used to say that, which kind of goes hand in hand to being in Cambodia, is everyone here is like very happy that you're here, and they're very like waving at you walking down the street and all that kind of stuff, and people are really just genuinely happy here. And that was something I was doing in Canada, be like, hey, and slowly that got weaned off of me, but it's back. I see people all the time that are waving, and it's great. Bully, thank you, Maven to Midlife. I had him for 16 years. It's really hard right now. It's never good, never easy. So take the time you need and heal. That's all you can do. I know for me, anytime I've lost, the only thing that saves me is memories, the good ones, and just keep feeding those in my head. I lost my mother last year. That's what got me through. Yeah, 16 years is a good life for a dog, for sure, Maven. Yep, grieving is a process you get through. It hurts so much in the beginning. It does. And then midlife, you're right. Funny how a good disposition and a smile will open many doors that you didn't even know existed. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be your smile. You can just see somebody else's and you're like, hey, that looks like fun. You smile back, I always found it funny. Like, it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. And somehow people use that as an excuse. It's like, well, I'm using more muscles to frown, so I'm exercising more. I'm like, shut up. just take that and shove it where your frown goes. What we got going? I knew something was rattling. I could hear like tick, 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 tick. It's a ladder in the back of that vehicle. Yeah. People are silly. Yeah, I'm like I've mentioned before, I'm super happy that I'm here. Cambodia has been a step in the right direction for me, 100%. I think Siem Reap is good for me too, because I appreciate and enjoy it up here a lot. It's funny because like I think for me, like I've lived in big cities, but I've always been a bit of like a small town boy. I grew up in Fredericton, which is a population of like 50,000 people. But it was the city, in New Brunswick, the big city. So I prefer the smaller cities, the smaller towns. And, Siem Reap is not tiny. It's like, I think over 200,000 people here. But it has that small town vibe, and I really appreciate it. And I think for me, this is like a great stepping stone for me to come, because I'll be honest, Asia can be very busy, like hectic busy. Like some cities you'll go to, like Phnom Penh, beautiful place, but oh my God, the traffic is just insane some days. Ho Chi Minh, like the traffic there was nuts, but still fun. I enjoyed, like, I can enjoy those places, but I need like a little bit of time in them, like a few days. Then I need to get out to the country. Where Siem Reap is just big enough that I feel like I'm in a city, small enough that I don't feel like I'm in a big city. I can have quiet strolls. I can go into the country. It's, everything I need is here in a short distance, and it's perfect for me. And it's just what I need. Oh, Breeze, hello. Thank you for coming by and wafting on the back of my legs. Because after I'm done here, into town to go get my new electrolytes, because it is hot. I think it's 35 today, which is Bully. I don't know much about Cambodia specifically, but I have a good friend who moved to Malaysia, and he found the woman of his dreams there. He says the people there are much happier and more pleasant. Yeah. Yep. Cambodia, I would say, is the same for me. And I found the woman of my dreams here too, so I can resonate on all levels with that. I didn't plan on dating ever again, and now that I am, like, it's a completely different life for me, different world. Dating here is way different than dating back home, but I accept it, and it's great for what it is. But the people here are like just so kind, so genuine, and I have nothing but great things to say about the people in Cambodia. The cost of living here is great, that you can live for less money than you could back in the West is absolutely a plus. But I don't think I would be as happy to be here in Cambodia if it wasn't for the people here. Like it wasn't like, I fell in love obviously with Cambodia for the way it looks and everything, but it was the people that sold me, and they continue to every day. How is dating different there when compared to here back in North America? So, for me, so that was awesome. It sounded like a horn of like something backing up, and it was just a kid on a bicycle. Beep, beep. So, this is only for me. I don't know if this is for everybody. This is just my experience. Here in Cambodia, it's very conservative. Yeah. Hello. Fan is a good idea. Got a portable fan on the baby walking by. So exactly. There's no games. There's no. You say what you need to say. Like if you need a break, if you need it's like, hey, I can't do something tonight because I got to do this, and this. You just say it. You don't have to mince words. It's just like, you be very forthright and direct, and everything's fine. It's traditional dating, Steve. Exactly. They're also very conservative here, so the casual dating, which happens in the West a bit. The bed hopping is not a thing. It's very traditional. They are very conservative. They don't want to get involved if it's just going to be casual. Like, at least for me, that was like, we had conversations about that at the beginning. Like with Sopal, she was like, setting forth her expectations of what she wanted, and I was like, no, I'm good. This is, this all resonates with me. Again, I'm not looking for a fling. I'm looking for, somebody I can spend a lot of time or the rest of my time with. And so we're both on the same page with it, so it's great. But, meeting family is a big part, because family is a massive part of the culture here. So, like, our first date for dinner was me and her 2 kids, She wanted to make sure that, if we're going to be doing this, her kids had to be, involved. And I was like, this is very cool. But yeah, there's no drama. There's no bullshit. Like, case in point, the other night, I'm in my headspace. I found out that I got this job, and then a few hours later, I'm going to be working. She was working all day, and she asked me where I was. I'm like, I'm at home just getting ready for teaching. And that was it. Nothing else was said. I'm like, okay. And then I'm working away on stuff, and then I hear a little knock at my door, and I kept it unlocked because I was in and out of my front door. And so she just came in, and she's like, hey, honey. And she had a meal for me. She cooked. She wanted to make sure that I had food. And I was already cooking something. Like, I had something getting ready. And so, but she came in, got a plate, put the food, turned off everything I was cooking, and told me, go sit and eat. They speak with food, and they speak volumes. And it's like, you don't fight it. You just say, yes, honey. Just go and sit down. And it was great. It was like chicken and vegetables and a holy basil, and it was really yummy. Nice rice. It was a really wonderful, well thought out meal. And then she was like cleaning up my apartment, making sure that everything was ready. And then like I was like, my food that I was going to have, and I'd made some chili oil for her. And so I quickly went into the kitchen, and I was finishing it off, and I made her a plate, and I made her sit down, because I'm like, hey, turnabout's fair play. Midlife escapes. Casual dating happens in Thailand, but you will limit your options. I casually dated a few ladies, and both were busy ladies that own their own business. I'm 53, and both ladies was 45, the other was 56. Yeah, there are those here as well. But like I said, for me, with Sopal, we're both divorced. Both were kind of fine being single and alone. neither one of us really wanted to date, and then all of a sudden here we were going, hey, this person's interesting, I like this could work. And luckily we both succumbed to it and let it happen, because I'm over the moon that she's in my life. So it's great. And they will feed you to death is very true. Yeah. Love through food, man. It's something that I will never be upset with. Also, I've got a little bit of a belly, and she's okay with it. She's like, no, she's like, it's okay. I told her that I want to lose some, and she says, it's okay, whatever, She also said to me that, if I get older and if I get sick, she'll take care of me, those kind of things. She wanted me to understand that she's not here just for the short term. She's here for the long term. And I said the same. It's like, if you get sick, I'll take care of you. And she's looking at me like, wait, what? I'm like, no, it's okay. But yeah, like the other night, she was there to make sure that I was well fed and taken care of before I had my first class. And she wanted to make sure my apartment was cleaned. Vietnam Steve, I've outsourced meals to my Vietnamese wife and daughters. I'll never have to think of food again. Yeah, you're smart. The funny thing is, though, is like, because I cook and I have a background in cooking, right? So, I've been doing it most of my life. Midlife escapes. I'm not afraid of a calorie. I'm with you. The bully, I'm very happy for you. It sounds like you found an amazing woman. I have. And it, again, came out of the clear blue sky, and I'm over the moon that it happened. We message each other in the morning, say good morning, and it could be she's up at 5 o'clock, I'm up at 6 or whatever it is. We message each other, and it's great. We're getting together tonight. I'm going to cook dinner, and that's the other thing, like I was saying, is like, I have a background in cooking. I have a background, working in kitchens, and I've been cooking for myself for years. So her and her daughter will come over, and I'll cook for them. And her daughter loves my cooking, so it's great. Because like the other day, I did the open dumplings, where you put the meat in the pan and you put the rice paper over top, and then you kind of sear it, so you cook the bottom and then you let it steam so that it cooks the rest of it. Her and her daughter just mowed down those things. So it's great. And I've made like hamburgers and other meals, and her daughter is just like, she like eats everything I cook. She loves coming over and eating. So I'm more than happy to cook for them. So, I'm the same way. I show my affection through food. So I'm in the right country for that. Midlife escape. I see poverty and homeless in Thailand, but it's very rare to see hungry. Thai people always make sure you eat. I'm sure it's the same in Cambodia. It absolutely is. Nobody goes hungry here. No matter how poor you are, you'll never go hungry. And that's like, and it's like everything is grown locally, right? So, sure, I can go to the markets, the grocery stores, and get my food and get my Western stuff. But I can go to the local markets, and that's all like harvested that morning. The vegetables are fresh. The meat is fresh. I'm still of the mindset of like not buying market meats yet. I'm not quite there. So Paul is, she'll cook and she'll go buy it and then she cooks it, but my brain is still having a hard time adjusting to it. I'll get there. Like when I don't have a grocery store nearby and I only have markets, I'll be like, I'm in. But I'm not there yet. Just a random dude on YouTube. Have an amazing journey in Cambodia. I am, thank you very much. 2 years going strong, and I have no intentions of letting it falter and fade away. I'm here for the long haul. That's the other fun thing, is like people keep asking me, is like, oh, when are you going back to Canada? I'm like, why? Bully, I'm very envious of you and Steve. I couldn't be happier for you both. Here in Maryland, USA, can be a task to find any real food. Yeah. Bully, in Canada, I was the same. when I was living in Montreal and Toronto, I was fortunate enough to have local like butchers and markets that were nearby that I could get some foods from, but it became harder and harder. Like in Fredericton, we have midlife. If I want to get meat from the market, I take a Thai lady with me. They can pick out what look good. That's the thing. It's like I would just go with Sapal and let her source it because like she knows what she's doing, you know. I'm the idiot and I need to learn, so, but I'll get there. But yeah, back in Canada, in Fredericton we had a farmer's market that was always just all local sourced product, and I could go on the weekends, and it was great as a kid. And so when I moved back there as an adult, I thought, okay, I'm going to go back to the farmer's market. Well, it had become one of those popular things. And so they started charging a lot for the stalls, and you were having businesses that were coming in that were, you know, artisanal, I guess. You know, you'd have like the butcher, the German butcher that was smoking things the traditional way. All great stuff, but way more expensive than it needed to be. But they were popular, and again, people were coming in from out of town to go to this market, and it was a really good market when I was a kid. It's still a good market, but it became more and more expensive to shop there. And that's what I found is like, all of the products just started getting so expensive, and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Like I go and get my eggs from the market here. I get duck eggs. You don't buy a dozen here. You can only get 10. $1.25. I can get them, and they're fine, and it's great. And I eat them all the time, and they're delicious, and I love them. And you know, I don't pay a lot of money. I can get a 10 chicken eggs at the grocery store here for $1.50. So I pay 25 cents more, and I get them at the store, or I can go to the market and I save 25 cents, but I get large duck eggs. I'm okay with this. You know, I'm fine with all of this. Like I was saying earlier, I order my food from the app, from Food Panda. I get 2 meals delivered for $2.60, and that's including a tip. You know, wow, the bully. Due to inflation, I've been paying $8 US for a dozen up until recently. That's insane. And I know that, like during the pandemic, people were growing their own chickens and stuff at home, but they started outlawing it. I heard. I'm like, what? And one of the other things that always drove me nuts too is like like in Canada, like I hate grass. Like I hated like mowing the lawn and all that shit. And so like when I lived in Prince Edward Island, like we had like a half acre, and it was a pain in the ass to mow all the time. And so a big section of it, like I put out a big deck on the back of the house, and I did a big walkway going around, and then I just filled the entire center of it with wildflowers. And it was just a seed mix. I just throw it down. I'm like, see ya. And it would grow, but it was like it was perennials, so it would come back the next year. So I'd have some would come up for the first part, and then they would die off. Then I had more flowers, so it was like 10 or 12 different variants, and it was gorgeous. In my backyard, I had this huge flower garden, and then like at one point we had a whole herb garden along the side of our house, and big vegetable garden in the back. So like we were growing things, and doing our own thing. So you know, and then our neighbor had chickens. We had a deal in the winter. He would borrow my snowblower and but he did. It was great, and it was a perfect deal because nobody likes shoveling and digging out of snow in the Maritimes because it's a lot of snow. Like you can get dumped on like 2 and 3 feet, no big deal. So I had a snowblower, and I would take it out and I'd do my yard, and then he would offer to do maintenance on the snowblower if anything happened to it, if he could use it. So I would pay for the gas, and he would use the snowblower. But then he would just give me eggs all year long. So every week he'd come over with another, oh, here's some eggs, from his chickens. And it was great. Vietnam Steve, agree on market meat. Good job for Sapal. I agree. I will let her do it. Yeah, 10 eggs in Thailand, maybe 20, 30 baht, depending on the egg type, less than $1. Yeah. And I think that they're a bit more expensive here in Siem Reap because it's, the city. I'm sure if I was out in the country, it'd be a little bit cheaper. But the one thing I appreciate here, and I absolutely love that they do it here. So as a foreigner, you go on and you think, oh, there's the foreigner tax. You go and buy something. It's, you see a hat you like, you see a shirt you like, and they offer you a price and you can haggle. That doesn't exist with food here. When you go to a market, that's the price. I can go by myself. I can go with Sapal. It's the same price. I don't fuck around with food, and I love that. It's exactly. There's a little market that I stop by on my way home, and I can get little bits and pieces. Like get potatoes. Like the other day, I stopped to get. I just pulled up on my bike. Oh, sorry, you missed it. But how many hours a week are you planning to assist with English Uplift? I'm looking at doing 20 to 25 hours a week right now. I'm going to be working towards 40. And Bully, great neighbors are a blessing, absolutely. And the best thing here is in Cambodia, your neighbors are amazing everywhere. I was lucky in Canada. I lived in the country, lived in a small town, so we still had that kind of, small town vibes. It was great. It's amazing. Yeah, Steve, I know. Holy cow. I'm doing a thing. I'll probably end up with between 25 and 30 is what I'm looking at. And I'm okay with that. And it's Monday to Friday, and it's regular daytime hours. I'm also going to look at another source to get more stuff to kind of fill in the gaps. But yeah, I'm working. You'll land where you land. It's so true. And it's funny. It's like, this week I've been doing the push for work. I told Sapal that I wanted to try to get a job from Canada doing remote work. And my thoughts were, even if I got part-time from Canada, the wages that I would be paid in Canada would be a good wage compared to what I would, get here. But the downside is a lot of that stuff, if I'm doing customer service work, if I'm taking calls, it's not a 24-hour center a lot of times. So you'd be working shifts that would, again, I would take the off-hour shifts, the ones that would work until midnight, which would be, I would work overnights here until, basically it's a 12-hour gap between the two. So it's like, ugh. But yeah. But I'm looking at the time. I wanted to bank on an hour, and we're over that. So, like I said, I got shit I got to do. But as always, you guys rock. I love having these conversations. Yes, Canada job equals Ball Lake and nighttime stress fest. Now I'm just working Cambodian hours, and it's great. Friend who works, so Billy's saying, my friend who moved to Malaysia also loved to cook. He opened up a traditional USA style barbecue there because he said barbecue is very uncommon. So now his new wife and children work with him. That is awesome. Maven, you absolutely will catch me later. Hopefully I will be able to join in one of your streams. If not, I'll see you. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. Thank you so much for the motivation on these streams. And I will see you all very soon in our next one. If you like the content, please like, comment, share, subscribe. But I will see you all later. Bye.